Hey, we made it.
Hey,
KakiTee, my friend. Hello, YouTube.
Oh, I can hear you, bro.
Hey, there we're good to go. A little bit of a delay. We apologize for that, of course. But we made it, and it is time. It is time. It is time to solve a lot of questions here. What's up, YouTube? We are live. A little bit of a delay. We apologize for that, of course, but thank you for joining us. We are here, Kaki, and it is time, my friend, to answer some questions. This is when a lot of people think the match really starts. We got Daniel versus D-Nugs live on YouTube. I'm excited. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. High stakes, heads up, the grudge match of the century. Let's set the table here, man. We're off and going 200, 400. And Kaki, we also have some strong opinions about what's going to go down here today. Set the stage for us, my friend. What do you think we are going to see?
Man, I'll tell you what I don't want to see is any of the upswing fucking coverage of this match, bro. I was in there for about 2 minutes and that was just atrocious.
Well,
the chat wasn't loving it.
The one thing is they got there on time. We did not get here on time, man. We're figuring out some technical difficulties, but guess what? Hey, there's how many hands are in this match? 2,000 million or whatever. We've made it, and here we go battling away. We got two tables. On the left, D-Neg sitting with about a 50K stack. And look at the right, D-Neg's up to 70K here. And here we go, the action is big. So if you guys are just joining us, welcome to the GG YouTube channel. We are live. My name is Kevin Martin, excited to cover this action with you today. Here's my good buddy and fellow mustache lover from the GG squad. We got KakiTee here. KakiTee, this is more your element, high stakes, cash. This is more your thing for sure.
I'm a mid-stakes 6-max player, man. But like I kind of get what's going on.
For sure. And if you guys missed the coverage the other day on the GGPoker Twitch channel, ooh, showdown there. Ace-9 is good. Looks like D-Nags was going for a bluff on the river with Queen High. Nice pot for Doug Polk. Okay, set the stage here. D-Nags, massive underdog coming in.
Bro.
What's that?
I need the screen share, bro.
Oh, that's right. You can't see.
Can you hit me that? Sorry, man.
Let's here. Grab that one link in the Discord channel there. Grab it from Simon. You'll get it. Anyway, so D-Nags is a massive underdog coming into this match. I personally myself have a little bit of emotional support for D-Nags and also a little bit of financial support. Here on table number one. D-Nags gets a check raise through here on the 6 of clubs. He takes that pot down. Ooh, triple jacks on the right table. These guys are firing away. We've already seen quite a few large pots. 3-bet on the left. D-Nags takes a flop in position. We see a monotone board here. Club, club, club. Doug Polk rocking the micro stakes avatar.
Yeah, Kev, I'm curious to hear your opening thoughts just on the match. Like, obviously, your boy, we have a little prop bet going on. Your boy, D-Nags, starting out strong.
Very
First 200
strong.
hands, up 115K or so.
He got out of the
feeling
gate
that?
I'm feeling it, man.
Okay.
I'm feeling it,
After
of course.
watching that first match, I wanted more action. I don't even care that he's up 2.5 binds.
So I have a big bet on
good.
Daniel with Kaki. We have bet against each other. We got a large wager here. I am Team D-Nags. He's betting on Doug. I just want to see the underdog. In every story, there's a good villain, there's a good hero. I really feel like Daniel is the hero entering this match. Queen 10, it is good. 4 clubs on the board. Big pot for Daniel, 3-bet pot there. So yeah, I mean, in terms of the time length of what we're going on here, this thing is in the infancies. They're playing 25,000 hands. Live, they did 200 hands, but Daniel did get off to an awesome start, up 115K. But this is the point that a lot of people think advantage goes to Doug. You know, this is Doug's bread and butter, deep stack, cash, online, multiple tables at the same time. You know, Daniel is a poker legend for sure, no doubt about that. But this is really, he's stepping into Doug's arena right here, taking on one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah, and interestingly, when they were playing live, DNeggs was 2.25ing and Doug was 2.5ing, and now that they're playing online, Doug is actually using a little bit of an odd size. It's about 2.3, or maybe exactly 2.3. I didn't catch it. And DNeggs is 3-betting a larger sizing pre than he was live, so yeah, interesting.
Massive pot on the left here, 21 grand, jack of spades on the turn. Doug Polk checks it back in position, 30K behind, king on the river. Flush comes in, big pot. Both tables, large pot right now, 20 grand on each. Oh, we're going to play some big stakes poker today. Daniel shows down the king. It is good. It is good. Wow, really had nothing going for the king 6 there until the river. Pot on the right, 21 grand as well. 10 of diamonds on the turn.
Yeah, after this pot concludes, maybe pull up that last one. I only just got the live feed now. Do you have replayer open, Kev? Or?
At the current moment,
that's on Isaac, right? To pull that up, yeah.
We do not have replayer on the current moment. We'll see if we can get that. 7K bet from Doug on the right. It's
so DNeggs 3-bet and C-bet, and Doug peeled and is betting third, I assume. Setting up a, what, 80% SPR?
Oh, check raise, snap call, 2 pair. Oh, wow.
Random flush draw.
Massive
single
pot.
Over against bottom 2.
Daniel check shoved the overcard flush draw, snapped by 2 pair. The equity did not get there. Huge pot for Doug. Oh my goodness, huge pot for Doug there. Daniel snap reloads, of course. What do you think about the check shove there on the turn with the overcard flush draw?
Probably quite bad. I'm not positive. He did have 1 over. It could be an okay, like, lower frequency play. I imagine he's mainly just supposed to call for the times that he checks. But yeah, it's probably not like completely terrible. It's just not great. If his opponent has a 10, he's drawing much thinner than he otherwise would be. So you've got other flush draws with more equity than that to play in that way, like with a gut shot with 2 overs, etc. So probably not a great line. Probably just a standard turn barrel, honestly. He blocks like his opponent hitting a 10 with the 9 and jack of hearts. So I don't know. I don't want to go too analysis mode, but yeah, probably not great.
Massive pot. Doug snapped him off with 2 pair. DNeggs takes a small pot on the left. 12 grand on the right. Ace of clubs. This is fun, man. And again, this is there's a marathon and there's a sprint. This match really seems like a marathon. We got a long ways to go. I mean, we played 200 hands the other day. Let's do some math. Yep. 200 divided by 24,800.
Daniel started out sprinting.
Daniel started out sprinting.
He's going to be slowing down soon, I'll tell you that, man.
Is he going to be gasping for air, looking for the water station a mile in here?
I think he beat Doug over the first 100 meters, and they're doing, the full 26 miles, man. So
I gotta say, I have booked some action on this match, and with my heart and with my pocketbook, I have about $700 of action on the poker legend Daniel Negreanu. And as soon as I booked that action, I had about 6 poker sharks slide in my DMs and looking for more, okay? Some of the sharpest bettors I know sent me a DM looking for more action, so I feel like I got the worst of it with my
it's not a good feeling when
almost
that happens,
5-1. Yeah, I was like, oh my god, I am a real fish here if all these guys are looking to I definitely have the worst of it.
Yeah, so this is so strange. For some reason, DNeggs was 2.25ing live, like raising to $900 pre-flop. And Doug was making it $1,000 pre-flop. And now they're doing the opposite when they're playing online. I don't get it. It's a very minor detail. It probably doesn't matter too much. But it's just interesting that they've randomly reversed these roles. Also, they're both 3-betting a bit larger pre. They were making it like 3,800 4K before versus 1,000. And now it's more like 4,200 versus 900 open. So subtle difference. Again, not meaning shit really, but just interesting. Like, why did somebody decide to do that? I don't know. I can't understand.
King 5
These are
for
the things
Daniel.
that I like to think about.
Takes a 3K pot. So we're seeing Doug with our 6-figure stack on the right. Doug sitting at over 100 grand. It's going to be interesting to see if they reset the table. Let's see, chips really fly. They get like 150K effective deep. I think they have a mutual agreement. I'm not sure exactly what the paper says, but if there's some sort of mutual agreement to maybe reset the table and lower the stacks once again.
That's right. This is why it's good to have a chat here. Apparently, I'm just old. I'm in the old man club. I am in the 30s, boys. I'm up there. So yeah, I was wrong. DNegs was the one 2.5ing, and Doug was using the 2.25 sizing, which he's slightly made slightly larger online. So what is it now? 2.275.
Ooh, overbet from Doug on the 3 Broadway board. Something to pay attention to. I think if we're going to see a lot of overbets in this match, a high percentage of them are going to come from Doug. I know Daniel has put in a decent amount of work coming up to this, but Daniel doesn't seem like a man who chooses the overbet option very much.
Yeah, I mean, these days, man, like most people know that these kind of plays are standard. I haven't quite followed this hand exactly, but including overbets in, especially on turns and rivers, is a very common line.
For sure. Let's see if Daniel uses some of that.
Yeah, if the turn is a brick, for example, you often see mainly overbets from the aggressor. So I assume we'll see a lot of it from both players. And like you said, Daniel has been studying.
Daniel's been in the lab. I know that for sure. The question is, and again, this is a long match. Can he sustain? There's the way I see this going. There's a lot of timelines where we're 7,000 hands in, and it's almost over. You know what I mean? But that's a boring movie. That is not fun. The story I want to see is a competitive match throughout. You know, the story of Daniel, a man who was part of the poker boom, WSOP shows back in the day. If he can, in my opinion, if he can step up to this match and deliver and compete and potentially win, he is already known as one of the greats. But that has to vault him to a stratosphere of the all-time GOAT, I would think, because this is unique. Or there's a lot of legends. This is sick. This is sick that he has taken up this battle and taken this challenge. Originally, when this was first announced, I was like, oh, Doug, Daniel, oh, classic. There was back and forth. And then it seemed like maybe it wasn't going to happen. I didn't really buy into the hype, but tell you what, now that we're here and this is on our screens, this is poker drama at its finest. I am all in here and glued to the screen. Chop on the right, straight on the board. Kings for DNegs. Gets chopped up.
Yeah, so blocking the absolute nizzles there and not ramming his stack in might have been a punt. From DNegs. I didn't quite catch it. I was listening to your interesting story, Kev. But yeah, with a straight on board, you generally see like a lot of aggression, especially from stronger players. When Daniel blocks like King Queen there, I don't know. I didn't catch the hand to know for sure that he could just rip in on the river, but he could certainly put his opponent in a tough spot with a hand like that playing the board.
A lot of people joining us here on the GG YouTube channel. Again, sorry for the delay, but we are live covering this action. We'll try to keep you updated with tallies, results. It looks like we're going to have about 2 hours of play today. 2 hours of play. They got going a little earlier. They were supposed to start at the bottom half of the hour. They got going a little 7-8 minutes early. Eager to get it going here. I was on Daniel's Twitter earlier. He's got a nice little recliner. He's got a sick little setup. I'm excited to see if DNegs can hang. By the way, when I'm playing, some poker, I don't think I would use the recliner. I like to sit a little upright, stay attentive. Oh, Daniel's sitting out on the right.
Maybe they're going to switch the seats up because they sort of messed it up for everybody watching, like being opposite seats on each table. It's
that's
just
right.
kind of annoying for everyone, really. Hopefully they'll change that. Or maybe DNegs is just reclining out of his chair. He's stuck in the chair,
Small break in the
For those of you guys who don't know. Oh, okay, they're resetting. Yeah, okay.
Resetting the tables.
I'll just quickly add, I did read a comment in the chat. Somebody said they can't see the top of the cards at Showdown. So with your setting, because of the cropping, unfortunately, the top of the cards are unable to be shown. So you might want to, alt drag that slightly up and pull the tables down.
The reset.
Also,
here
shout
for a
out to
second.
everybody shit talking me. Fuck you.
As soon as they sit back in, we'll get back to the action. Daniel is currently sitting out. It's finally here. It's finally time. The online part of the challenge has started. Doug Polk with an advantage. Stacked DNegs, and they're back at it. Let's jump back in.
Oh, you going this view, Kev? All right. I like your style.
There, they're back in the action. Daniel sat out for 45 seconds there.
Unfortunately, didn't change seats. Oh, maybe someone can mention to that That's them next match or some shit.
Yeah, they are sitting opposites on the 2 heads-up table here on WSB.com. Okay, 2 3-bet pots here. 2 3-bet pots are going to the
reasonably
flop.
similar boards. We'll see if DNegs has a different approach on each one. Betting this board on the right side, yeah, it's something that you'll seldom see. A very low frequency bet on this board, regardless of what sizing you choose.
Interesting.
He actually used this Doug's sizing a bit differently, more like third pot.
Wow.
Daniel using his 20% sizing.
Both these pots are 3-bet pots. Both bet the flop. Doug on the left chose a bit of a bigger sizing than Daniel did on the right.
Yep, 30% as opposed to 20. Doug checks the left board on a very, very connected turn card. DNegs is going to fire here on the king. Semi-brick king, considering how connected the board is on the flop. Large stab from DNegs in position here.
Wow, 2 massive pots here.
Yeah, playing for towers.
Wow.
Will DNegs 3-barrel all in on the right? I don't know. Doug finds the check call after the 10 of spades, and an ace rolls on the river.
All in and snapped. Wow. Yep. Flopped, straight set versus straight. Oh, no. Daniel gets stacked once again on the right. That is twice.
Yep. And DNegs going for a very interesting 20% river sizing here after betting like a large sizing on this turn card. It's an interesting size because he's repping like a really wide value range, but on the turn, he's really not repping a really wide value range. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Doug call him down here kind of for info, like, the fuck's this guy doing? Because he's basically polarized, but he's only betting 20% pot. So it'd be surprising to see DNegs have anything that's not at least a straight here for this sizing. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Doug called. Just the odds are incredible. Even if Doug's bluff catch is probably never good, and he does have the nizzles, which is what he's repping when he bets only 20% pot. A weird line, probably a bad line. Yeah.
Daniel gets a little bit back on table number 1, but the true damage came on the right side. It was a 3-bet pot, pocket 9s versus jack 7. 8, 9, 10 was the flop. It's pretty sick, though, heads up to flop middle set versus the flop straight. And advantage Doug Polk right out of the gate.
Yep.
Daniel's profit from those live hands seems to be slipping a little bit.
Well, he's still doing all right. Like, he won that 3-bet pot on the left table. Took like 60 BB off Doug in that hand. But if you had to guess the results, it looks like DNegs is down about 1 buy-in total, putting him up around 70k for the match so far.
Yeah, that's an approximation. River bet here from Doug. Snapped. King 2 is good. Caught Doug bluffing on the right side.
What's our chance of getting a replayer up, Isaac? Our technical man.
Yeah, let's lift this up a little bit just so that showdown doesn't get cropped off. Okay, advantage Doug so far in the session, but Daniel's had a few nice hands go his way as well. Guys, thank you for joining us on the GG YouTube channel. Happy to bring this to you here today. And again, settle in. Settle in. Conserve your energy. There's a lot of poker to go. There we go. Probably see the showdown a little bit better.
Hey, Kev, did you happen to fix that thing with the whole cards displaying at showdowns?
Yep. Yeah, it's good
Is
to
that
go
working
now.
now?
Yep.
I sweet did.
It's good to go now. All right, we got the replayer working here. I think Isaac's going to pull up some key hands that we can go look at here. Ooh, 4-bet on the left. So Daniel raises the button, Doug with the 3-bet, and a 4-bet comes in. 4-bet pot on the left.
Last time we saw this, he was bluffing with a king-9 offsuit. He 3-barreled and took it down against Doug's ace-queen high on a jack-10x flop that went brick-brick.
Small sizing here
He
in
goes
4-bet
for the
pot.
snap C-bet. Yeah. It's nice play from Daniel there.
Daniel takes it down.
Daniel takes down another one with the kneesies on the river getting paid off. Oh, Doug adjusts his sizing slightly as they get a little bit deeper. Increasing by, what is that, 0.1 blinds? My brain's not working yet. 0.1 blinds.
Check raise from Daniel on the left here on the deuce 4. Single raise pot pre. Yep. Daniel decides to go for the 4x check raise. Okay, pot growing. 7 of diamonds on the turn. Come on, Daniel. I'm supposed to be not unbiased.
You want him to have the nizzles like
I just want him to just flop a boat, man. If the poker gods in the world can send Daniel like a surplus amount of aces and flop sets. Okay. So it was an early advantage for Doug, but Daniel's fought back here in the last little 30, 40 hands. It's going to be tough not to get too caught up in these short-term results when, again, we're going to have a lot of poker to be played. So I believe what they've set up is 2 hours, day off, 2 hours. It looks like they're taking a break between every single session, but obviously it's up to these two guys. They're going to play whenever they want. Daniel checks back the right board here in position. Ace 4, offsuit ace. Rivers 2 pair. Doug takes that one down.
They're playing at a pace that's quite fast.
They are playing very quickly. They're making some swift decisions indeed.
Yeah, it's actually hard to stop and like look at a decent, interesting hand on the replayer. But the next time there's a big pot,
let's test it out. I think we got a hand up. Let's go. Let's check out this replayer here.
All right.
Yeah, let's see what we got here. Here we go. This is one of the bigger pots that happened. We got it up. Go ahead, IT Isaac. There's something big that happens. We'll jump back to it, but I believe this is one of the bigger hands that have occurred here. Doug open folds the button. No, that's not it, man. That's not a.
We'll come back to that later.
We'll come back to that one. The open fold button is not going to make the highlight reel for us here.
But it's your boy winning a pot. You got to be in favor of that, right? Glad we checked that one out on the replayer. Here we go. 2 large pots here. 20K on the right side. 4 on the turn. Ooh, big bet from Doug on the left. Just under pot on the river. He fired a small barrel on the turn, and D-Next check called it, and now he fires again with what looks
Daniel
like a pretty
catches
good bluff.
him bluffing.
Yep.
Top nice 2 call. With Jack 7. Bluff. Okay.
Probably a well played hand by both there. D-Negs is playing the rush and 3-betting the very next hand on that table. I like to see a man play a rush.
So 3-bet pot on the left. Daniel goes with a big sizing on the 10-high board here.
Yeah, it's a good choice, actually. Pretty sure.
Okay, another big pot on the left. Daniel just won that big hand off of a
very
bluff.
Connected turn.
Seems like this turn is going to be bad for Daniel in general. I think this is going to interact with Doug's range much better in a 3-bet pot. He shoves.
Yeah, I mean, heads up, they both have a bunch of stuff, and Daniel still has all the overpairs. But it's a turn that does improve Doug's range for sure, giving him a lot of extra equity whenever he has a pair.
Okay.
Generally has a gutter.
All right. I mean, we're keeping a tally on the results. Doug got off to that quick start, but it looks like Daniel's doing work on this left table, taking down his fair share of pots.
Close to even, it seems like, so far. What would be exciting is if they both had that 100K stack on the same table. I'd be curious. I feel like Doug would start opening to about 3x or so, off 2.5 or 2 buy-in stacks. I'm not sure if Daniel has a strategy prepared for that, or if he's planning on quitting and playing 100 BB. I don't really know, but I assume that Doug would rather play as deep as possible.
All right, we're off and going.
there's a lot of calls, Isaac, for the change to 4-color deck within the client. If you could do that, I think the people in the chat would appreciate it. Unfortunately, we can't change the position of the players. We can't make Doug and Daniel on the same side on both tables.
That'll be up to them.
Failing to do it themselves.
That'll be up to them. Hopefully they do that, though.
Go for those right side cards, man. Like that sort of Uno deck. I think that's probably better. The Uno deck. I was in those settings.
The full colored ones, right? That's
like the big cards. It's easier to see for mobile viewers.
Ooh, overbet from Doug on the river.
Maybe replay that hand, Isaac. Let's see if you can, if you figured out the replay. Yeah, this is good. Nice one.
There, this is nice. Chat, do we like these colors here? Small pot on the right. Daniel bets the river. Okay, man. As a financial supporter of Daniel here, we got off to that bad start. I was worried, man. I was like, oh no, this could be a runaway train. But momentum has swung back. They're about even so far in the heads-up match, if I had to guess. In the online session, obviously Daniel's still up huge based off of those good live results. I wish they played a little more live, man. Those 200 hands that we saw them playing live was very exciting. Did you watch the full match? The one thing that caught me by surprise was, first of all, how kind of nice they were to each other. I was expecting some more.
Bro, that was so bad, man. I can't believe that. That was the most disappointing shit ever. Yeah.
I mean, you talk the talk online, and then you sit with each other in person. There should have been
that's embarrassing, man. That's a disgrace. You know, that's just that tilted the shit out of me, man. I got to be honest. Everybody in my chat was tilted. I was tilted.
Yeah,
I think that disappointed viewers completely. I'll say. And we were actually rewatching some of the footage from the last time they played live, which was in a 300K tournament called the Super High Roller Bowl, where Daniel came second place. Sorry,
and that's where Doug famously wore his taunting shirt.
Yeah, and man, there was some real tension. You know, like it was still like there wasn't really anything said. It was kind of childish mannerisms by both, but it was entertaining, man. It was very entertaining. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of tension in the room. It was good. And they really they went friendly mode. It was just
3-bet pot on the left. 3-bet pot on the left.
Scammed.
Flop went check check. Turn went check check. So Daniel 3-bet pre's checked every straight. It's got like some sort of ace jack, ace queen, just looking for showdown perhaps.
Yep. And Doug betting here. Will he have 2 random broadways bluffing? That's what Daniel was hoping if he calls. Or does Daniel have a trap and he's raising? I think Daniel would underbluff this spot here with a check raise.
Daniel's never raising this river. That would shock me. Shouldn't say never, but it seems like a call or fold spot based off of the passive post-flop action. We'll see here.
One of the important parts of heads up is, or like poker in general, is finding value raises and enough bluffs for when you do. Doug makes 2 checkbacks here. You know, just a frequency play from top pair on the flop. And finding a check back on the 2-turn. He could obviously value bet the turn 2. But his line gets him paid off by most likely ace high in this situation. So
let's take a look at that pot. Very interesting here. We got it up here. So Doug checks back the 7-9 on the flop and turning, gets a really good value bet. We're thinking obviously we're not going to have access to what Daniel called with, but it feels like the ace jack, the ace queen perhaps. Here, let's quickly rerun through this one. Thank you, IT Isaac behind the scenes. Interesting hand here. Oh, I mean we gotta check out a little 4-bet pot here. A little 4-bet from
Doug's ripping. Might be a cooler.
Oh,
your boy needs a 10.
Oh, 10s versus queens. He needs a 10 badly. He's in bad shape here. 2 outer magical river. Wow, stack.
Now they're deep. They're deep. Let's see what Doug does openings wise. I think he'll 2.5 at least. Okay, so he doesn't go up much in sizing.
So you're more of the online cash game wizard. How do you feel about DNeg's 4-bet call off there with 10s? Is that super standard stuff?
Yeah, super standard. 125 effective.
Feels bad when you see the 2 queens though for 100K. Daniel fans.
It feels good when you hit a 10 though, you know. So it's fine.
Okay, wow. All right, a little bit of momentum for Doug there. Daniel was doing work on the left side of the table here, but he just got stacked. Tens
We're
versus
gonna have
queens.
to pay extra attention to the left table, hoping for the very large pot to occur.
That's right. They are both deep now on the left.
Hey, somebody banned this Poker Harold noob in the chat. He's just spamming about 4-color deck garbage. Fuck out, cunt.
Kaki, tell you what, man, it's a pleasure to be broadcasting this with you today. So Kaki was a long-term title holder of the title of best mustache on Twitch Poker. I'm telling you what, I'm taking a run at it though. I got the Movember coming. I mean, yours is looking a little cleaner, a little solid, but we're taking a run at it. Ace-high board here on both boards. Exact same pot size, just under 3K. Man, Daniel was. I'm really in tune to these short-term results. Like that, Daniel stacking off with tens there hurts me a little bit to see the two queens. Why not ace king? Why not two nines from Duck? Big pot on the right here as well. Pocket eights are good for Daniel. Showdown there. So if you were a line maker, Kaki, coming into this event, what do you think the true line was? What do you think the true line was?
Well, I got a couple issues answering that question because I sort of want action, okay, and I also just like talking about interesting topics. And you're asking me something that I think is interesting, but if I say what I think the true line might be, maybe I'll never get a bet on what I would actually try to bet. You know?
Okay. You're going to keep that hand close to your chest.
Nah, I don't know. I'm undecided. I could be persuaded.
Ooh,
not
check
like financially, I'm just saying. Snap fold after large sizing on 5-4 deuce. Okay. Kind of interesting one.
Doug takes that one with a nice check raise.
Just so you guys know, me and Kev have a little bet. It's like my 1K to his 230.
I got multiple bets on Daniel here. I'm telling you what, I'm nervous, man. If there was a cash out button, I might take it. I might take it. Again, I booked some action on Daniel, and I had all the sharks slide in my DMs looking for more, and I was like, uh-oh, that is a bad sign. When six
I was
or
going to
seven...
make a joke about your accountant. Like approving your bet with the on DNEG's side here.
Might be a bit of a punt here. Why not though? See, I feel like I'll feel better about myself. You know, betting on the underdog here, showing some support to Daniel. Okay,
what did you think, Kev, of that match? Obviously, I expressed my thoughts, the live match between these two dudes. How did you feel about it overall?
Very entertaining.
The play and the...
The demeanor was a little offsetting just because it was, you know, as the poker community, we have been subjective to the Doug and Daniel banter for years, right? It's what we've been accustomed to the point of like, all right, come on, guys. You know, I think they've both overdone it at times, but it has been very entertaining. And then for them to sit together and all of a sudden, you know, it's like, oh, these guys shared a dorm in college. It was a little unique. It just didn't feel quite right. But the poker was pretty intense. I mean, the one main hand from the live felt was the 10-6 3-bet where Daniel made trips and then gave Doug a little bit of a nit roll on the river. Interesting bluff from Doug with the queen jack of diamonds, and then an interesting nit roll with the 10-6. I was happy to see Daniel get off to a good start, but what shocked me was I booked action on Daniel. Daniel wins 100K. I go to look at the line, and the line actually moved away from Daniel. He even got more of an underdog after winning 100K. And speaking of action here on the left, we see a healthy check raise from Daniel. Actually, a bit on the smaller size versus the 2K bet. Big pot here.
Yeah, still a reasonably polarizing line to check raise this flush completing turn. And he finds a river check interesting. Okay, just gives it away with queen nine. Whatever. Not a huge deal. Probably a good hand to bluff river, though.
Yeah, with that hand exactly, I think a large river bet would have been really effective. Once you choose the turn check raise, it seems a little too passive to give that one up. But again, this is not my forte. I'm a tournament player, but.
By the way, Kev, a few people have been saying we're actually calling the cards a little bit before they arrive, so there must be some sort of delay between what we're seeing and what you're streaming. I don't know how that's working with the voice, but we probably want to wait a second, like after a turn or a river, to make any comment.
That is very unique.
Yeah, it's weird.
So far, I mean, we're in the infancy here. What are you seeing, Kaki? Advantage who? Who's playing better?
I mean, I don't even have to look to have this opinion, but Doug is going to be playing better. The question is simply, is it 4-1? Is it 5-1? Is it whatever to 1 better? That's what we're really wondering. Even like if you ask Daniel, like, you know, he was saying he thinks the line's something like 4-1, and he thinks he's actually better than 4-1. So if Daniel wants to hit me up with like a nice little bet, then I'd probably take it.
Oh, river check raise from Doug.
No, it was just after a check back turn. Daniel bet the river for value, and Doug made a value raise.
That's
right.
right.
didn't even consider 3-betting the river, which is probably a mistake. I'm not saying it was bad that he just called, but like he should at least consider 3-betting for value.
Massive pot here. Let's replay this one. Massive hand here. Let's go through this one. So this is the left table where both of the stacks are deeper. Yeah, run it through here for us, Isaac. Doug standard 970 raise. Daniel with the defend. Queen high spady board. Small bet. Calls. Checks back and bink. That is an action card, the 7 of spades.
Yeah, so all I was really saying is Daniel called pretty quickly. I think a better player would at least consider whether it's strong enough to value raise that. And it probably is a value raise. Because his opponent can have a lot of 5x flushes that are weaker than his flush. And his opponent can be value raising a 7. And like his opponent might have to bluff catch when he's raised a 7 for value and has a spade in his hand, for example. He might have to bluff catch that. His opponent probably can't fold any flushes to a 3-bet as well. Or at least not that many. And it depends what sizing. Is DNX going to be just 3xing it, or is he going to be ripping? It's worth thinking about is the main point. And why more people decided to bet against Daniel after the first match is he kind of revealed where his thoughts are at. Like when he had an easy bluff catch with the 3-of-a-kind 6s in a 3-bet pot, he tanked. When he had king 3 high in a 4-bet pot, he didn't even c-bet. He didn't bet the turn. He didn't bet the river. Huge punt. So
Daniel did show down
you get an insight.
The jack 2 of spades here and takes this one down. Isaac might have to click over one more, but that's okay. He had the flush. Did not 3-bet river. Kaki, I love how you call it how you see it. You're just like, Daniel's making some mistakes, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, he even admitted that he's going to be the underdog.
For sure.
It's just a question of where that line is.
Check raise pot on the flop here. On the right side, 8-8 deuce. Doug bet. Daniel check raise, check turn. Feels a little weak when he checks the turn.
No, he's got to check quite a lot.
Is he going to check
hit a queen occasionally?
Do you mix
he's
in
check
checks with the 8s?
Deuce or 3s for value. So he has to protect some of his weaker check raises by checking strong hands too on the turn. You'll quite often see after a check raise on a rainbowy kind of like a board where it's pretty locked up, you often see thin value raises and bluffs and like strong value hands like 3-of-a-kind, and that range checks a lot on turns.
Felt weak, and sure enough, Doug with the turn bet takes that one down. All right. Good news is, guys, we are going to get a post-game interview with Daniel Negreanu after this wraps up. They've been playing for about 55 minutes. It seems like they're going to go for 2 hours. Maybe we'll get some bonus coverage as well. But as soon as they wrap up, we're going to get Daniel on the program, and we're going to ask him some questions, go over some of the big hands, get his take on the whole battle, how he feels about it. River spot here on the left. Daniel goes with a big size.
I like interacting with chat, man. Yeah, it's fun. I'm just shit talking some dudes, but there's some funny cunts in there as well.
Oh, wow. Big raise from Doug Polk on the left.
I'm assuming it was C-bet and checked back. I didn't catch the whole hand. So Daniel should have some 3-bets here on the river. Not this time, though.
Decides to give it up. Let's go through that one again. Let's watch that one. That was a fun one. Interesting action here. Let's run it back. So again, this is at the left. Oh, pause. We got 4-bet. We'll get back to that replay. 4-bet alert.
Your favorite spot.
The 4-bet makes me excited, man. The 4-bet's the best. So Doug raises button.
Another cooler. Danny ripping the ace quizzy. Needs the ace. Does not find the ace.
Kaki, you're calling the action slightly ahead of us. Slightly ahead of us. What feed are you watching?
I'm watching the feed.
The Twitch feed. Yeah, you gotta pause for a second.
All right.
The cards were not on their back, and you said cooler. Wow, Daniel gets stacked on the right side. Ouch. Queens. Queens have been the best hand for Doug Polk. Doug got queens in versus tens for stackulation and just gets in queens versus ace queen there. Oh no, the Daniel fans do not like that. Doug with the 200k stack on the right side of the table. And we see a raise on the left from Daniel in this river spot. So the first 20 minutes, advantage Doug. Daniel fought back, got a little bit of momentum, but it was once again swung back to Doug Polk here. Couple of pre-flop stack-offs. I mean, ace-queen versus, Daniel should hit that once in a while.
I'm going to have a look if that was a good shove or not. It feels like it's mainly a flat pre, but maybe sometimes ripping. Offsuit ace quizzy.
Two biggest pots have come from the pre-flop section of the game. Let's go to the replay here and watch that one more time. The replay on WSOP.com, the pinnacle of up-to-date poker software. Just kidding, of course. I watched a lot of WSOP on this software. This was the raise river spot where Daniel took it down. Bet raise. Interesting. Repping the 4x, of course. Interesting spot.
Yeah, Doug might assume that it's pretty underbluffed by Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
Could be a fair assumption.
The question I have is I assume overbet from Doug on the left side here. Big overbet, 6.8 into 4.5. Again, welcome, guys. Thank you for joining us here on the GG YouTube channel. If you want to subscribe to this channel, tons of coverage of this match alongside other content as well. But we're going to be covering this throughout this saga.
This chat is savage, bro. They're really digging in, it's funny. Although they are maybe making a good point about the replays. I think it might be taken away from the live action. Maybe we should just stick with the live action.
Trip Kings for Polk gets an overbet paid off. Would love to know what Daniel called there with. Nice overbet, man. You can just sense it. You can just sense that Doug feels comfortable. This is his bread and butter. You can sense. So far, Daniel's getting whacked for a decent amount here.
I'm assuming he's okay. I'll wait. You should just say everything, and then apparently, like, I see things in front of you, so I won't comment.
3-bet pie here. Dana goes with the 6,500. Wow. Daniel 3-bet pre, bets the flop, checks the turn.
Yeah, not sure about a large sizing on this board. Just not sure about it. Could be all right. Stacks are deep. Things get complicated.
Daniel is sat out on the right side of the table. Check folds the turn. Another pot going away from Daniel. Daniel, call a timeout, man. Call a timeout. Go regroup. That was a rough little go there. They're both sitting out. We'll get back to the action. Oh, advantage Doug, man. I mean, if you bet money on Doug, you liked that 30-minute sequence. Not only the all-in hands went Doug's way, we saw that 2 big spots pre-flop, but it just really senses like Doug is very comfortable in these spots. Kaki, what's your take so far? We're 1 hour into the action.
I mean, without access to the whole cards, it's hard really to know where Daniel's at. I just assume Doug's making like standard and reasonable plays most of the time. The only thing that really stuck out to me was where Daniel decided to snap call the river raise with the jack high flush. I think not thinking about it is a bit of a mistake. I'm not saying it was a good hand to re-raise the river for value. But I don't know, just sort of shows where his head's at. Outside of that, I mean, there was a cooler pre-flop with the 10s and the queens. Unlucky for Daniel there.
What do you think about the ace-queen spot?
I had a look, and it's like something like a 25% shove pre. The rest of the time, you should flat.
Okay.
It was a larger sizing from Doug, so he 4-bet a bit larger. So maybe that incentivized Daniel to shove a little bit more often. I don't know if he's using an RNG or if he's just, choosing whatever he feels like doing. I'd guess it's the latter.
I would guess it's the latter as well. Daniel took the 1-minute timeout, and we're back. So far, I mean, you can see the stacks. They tell the story. Doug Polk, it's all in his corner right now. The live winnings that Daniel had from those 200 hands have seemed to slip away here pretty quickly. Come on, man. Come on, Daniel. Make this a contest. If it goes, I'm nervous for him. I'm really nervous for him. I hope he can fight back. I really am curious to the work these guys are going to do between the sessions, because I believe they're going to play for 2 hours, take a day off, play for 2 hours. I think Daniel, he might have a squad behind him. If he can analyze some of these hands.
I'm not sure what the situation with getting the replayer for each of them. Like, are they going to be able to look back over their opponent's showdowns? Because we can't see every showdown, but like if you were dealt into the hand, you can see that's what he checks back with, that's what he bet, like all of these different things. That's what he paid me off with on that river. I feel like Doug will do a lot better with that information than Daniel will, but it depends. Like if Daniel has a team that's doing that, then maybe it's better. As far as I know, they're basically just doing their own sort of notes throughout each session, and they're not allowed to import the hands into a database. If that's the case and Doug doesn't get to analyze Daniel's play like in depth, I think it favors Daniel a little bit. But otherwise, it would favor Doug a lot.
King high, good for Polk on the left there. Oh no, an ace high. Good for Daniel on the right. Sometimes it is tough to the fact that they're sitting on the if we can get a memo to these guys to sit on the same side of the table.
Yep.
I think that would help the viewing experience for all involved. There's nothing we can do, you guys, to switch it up.
Yeah, I mean, we can tell Daniel after the match. I'm sure they won't do it again.
We are going to get Daniel after the match concludes. We're going to ask him some questions, get his sense. So far, pretty rough start for Daniel Negreanu here in the online streets. Got about an hour of play left today. Let's see if Daniel can rally here and get the job done. So he started today up 115,000 in the challenge. It looks like, I mean, it looks like that's all gone, if not a little more. What's the tally right now? Doug's up like 30K in the challenge total.
Let me have a think.
Maybe a little bit less.
Because Doug was down on the left table firstly.
Another overbet here from Doug.
I think they're about even. I think they're about even right now.
That would make sense.
Like total for the challenge. Yeah, this overbet on the left side
Doug
table.
might be up small in total in the challenge, but it's close.
DNX finds a nice hero. Oh shit! I gotta forget that I'm.
Hey, there we go, Daniel. Dude, what kind of time continuum? How do you see the action before? I don't know. That's blowing my mind. Daniel Negreanu with a nice little hero call there versus the overbet. We'll load that one up for replay. Just have that on the side while we follow the live action.
Yep. If he was assuming Doug doesn't value bet like an 8 for that sizing in that way, at least not an 8 without like the ace of clubs or king of clubs, then he made a good read and a good call. Doug trying to punish Daniel for having a weak range, checking back the turn after c-betting small on the flop. Daniel did show live that he was willing to check back some stronger hands though on turns, which I felt like was a display of improvement by him. Checking back a flush and like an ace-6 when they were playing the live session, I thought they were both, just indicative that he'd improved.
That's one of the biggest things I had in my notes was that during those live hands, Daniel's turn check percentage was as high could be, and he did it with a lot of weak hands, a lot of strong hands. I mean, his turn check with the 10-6, it kind of got Polk to blast off with that queen-jack hand. So we're about back to even on the channel as we stand at this moment. They're about an hour and 10 minutes into the play today. Doug's got that beefy 200K stack on the right. It looks pretty sweet. Daniel at the start was winning the left table, but that has changed as well. Polk sitting on 120,000. $10-9 is good for Daniel. 5K pot. In position decision here on the river for Daniel. 3K on the right. We're going to go to this replay right after this hand concludes on the right. Daniel checks. 6-5 is good. All right, let's check out this nice river hero call here by Daniel Negreanu. Let's check this hand out. Let's replay it from the top, Isaac. This was pretty impressive because this is an overbet spot. Earlier, Doug overbet for value with the trip kings. Daniel called in correctly, and this time Daniel does sniff out the overbet bluff. So let's run this one back. Excuse me, we gotta go to the 4-bet. Every time we go to the replay, there's a beautiful 4-bet. Let's go back to the 4-bet. If we ever want to get some action going, we'll go to the replay. All right, raise 3-bet, 4-bet takes it down. All right, let's see this. Let's see this hand go down here. Back on the replay, 3K on the turn. The magical 4-bet. Okay, Daniel checks the turn in position. And there we go. Big overbet from Doug with the 6-5. Daniel sniffs it out with ace high. Nice call. I like to see that. Yeah,
Kev, I think we should ditch the replays, man. The chat's pretty in consensus that they're not into it. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. No more replays. No more replays. Unless we can take a break.
I'm now just watching the YouTube feed, so my commentary will probably be slower, but I think that's better than randomly spoiling shit. Shout out to the two dudes in the chat saying they love the replays. Sorry, boys.
Yeah, I know. I felt them, man. I know there were some people in the chat that were big fans of the replay, man. And we just shut down their dreams like that. I know it wasn't unanimous. You know, they're outliers, but it hurt their soul a little bit to take away the replay. Big river spot here on the left. Daniel in position. Daniel has checked back some rivers and given a couple pots to Polk. Here's a big bet. Big sizing and called. Ooh, got caught bluffing. Doug Polk, river, 2-pair, check called. Really interesting hand there. Wow.
That's probably a close one. Like having the queen of spades is not helping Daniel when he chooses to bluff river. However, the 5 is still a pretty reasonable card. Although it is the 5 of diamonds, so his opponent's going to have more floats that are weak that contain a 5 of diamonds. So I'd say overall it might have been a bad hand to bluff, but I'm not good enough a heads up to know that for sure. He's definitely thinking and using some okay future blockers for the turn bet, but on river, it's a complicated decision and it might be a good hand to give up.
Interesting. Polk river the top 2 and check called the river. Caught the bluff from Daniel.
D-Negs with a nice hero call with the king 7. Putting Polk maybe on a bunch of different gut shots that are bluffing without a spade.
I gotta say one thing is these guys are playing as swiftly as possible, man. They're hammering out some decisions. Yeah, both of them are bringing the haste to this heads up match. Trying to get through these 25,000 hands tonight.
Norm shit talked me on Twitter. I had to clap back at him. Busy for a minute.
That's your MO, dude. You're one of the best, man, at the clapbacks.
I gotta get into the games more. I think Twitter's only good for shit talking people, basically. Doug sort of taught us that.
Nice hand on the right. Doug bluffs the river unsuccessfully. Yeah, the clapback on Twitter, not really my style. It might be a Canadian thing.
I don't know, man. You guys like to throw down at the start of a period in hockey.
Yeah, but that's the Canadian strategy is we go on the ice, we get our aggression out, and then away from the ice, we're just like, we don't get too heated up about stuff.
I used to play hockey actually as a kid.
Beautiful, violent game. Speaking of violence, it has been Doug Polk dishing out the violence to Daniel Negreanu so far today. Daniel was coming in with a massive lead, and it has evaporated in front of him. 2 biggest pots of the day were all in pre-flop, 5-bet pots. Daniel had the worst of it both times. Still, a little unlucky. He's running under EV in these all-in pre-flop spots. In position bet from Doug on the right. 2 river spots here. If you guys are just joining us, welcome to the GG YouTube channel. Feel free to subscribe. There's going to be coverage of this heads-up feud throughout. We believe the next round is going down Sunday at the exact same time. Doug wins that pot. Yeah, subscribe to the channel. We'll be covering it throughout, and there's some other good content on here. Another overbet from Doug Polk on the left here. Daniel's been put in some tough spots versus this overbet sizing.
Yeah, very interesting spot. If the hand went Siba and check back, which is what I'm assuming, I didn't catch the whole thing, then yeah, Doug's repping a very, very strange range himself.
Daniel's going deep in the time bank here. Gives this one up. Doug is definitely favoring a lot of overbets on the river here.
Who is up? It's actually about dead even in the match so far. I think Doug might be up 10k, which is, a quarter of a buy-in. And that's including the live session.
Yeah, so just today, just this online session, Doug, we're getting estimates he's up about 120, 125,000. So he's up small in the entire match. That early profit Daniel had has come and gone. I mean, Doug fans, whether you bet on him or you're cheering for him, they got to be pretty happy with what they're seeing so far. An hour and 15 minutes in. Really feels like he's pulling the trigger in some really key spots and kind of outplaying Daniel to the time being.
Yeah, Kev, like you said before, mate, it's a marathon. So when you're watching the match at this stage, sure, the coin flip results do matter to the scoreboard. But what you're mainly looking for is somebody punting. Like, did somebody play a hand like legit bad? Mm-hmm. And we haven't seen it out of Doug really yet. You could argue the Queen Jack of Diamonds in the live game was a fold on the flop. But I think once he calls the flop, the turn and the river bet are standard at least sometimes. So I think we're more likely to see
what you're saying is
make a mistake.
Me and Kaki actually have action against each other for this match. Is you're feeling pretty good. You're feeling pretty good about where you sit.
I'm not feeling very good at all, to be honest. I have 1k on it. I was looking to bet 50. So outside of that, like if I win like your $230, Kevin, I'm going to be just a little bit tilted that I didn't bet anything reasonable on it,
Well, let's just cancel it then. Let's just, if you don't care, let's just wipe it clean. Now, I believe in Daniel, man. I believe in Daniel. I think he can rally. I think he can make some adjustments. 3-bet pot here on the right. Snap fold. I mean, the stacks tell the story. Doug Polk sitting 200K on the right. We've been on the last 10 minutes, we haven't really seen too much action, just smaller pots here.
Shout out to the dude says we look like a pair of undercover cops. I think you're ready to go to the gay bar, and I'm just going to the normal bar to try and do some narco work, man. Don't know about that shirt, bro.
What do you mean, dude? This is a great shirt, dude. This is a great shirt, regardless of your sexual preference. Anybody can rock this shirt, dude. Come on, man. Don't attack this shirt. It's my favorite.
Did your girl buy it for you, though, or you bought it for yourself?
Dude, I bought it for $32 at the local clearance store. And it's
right.
The ROI on this shirt has paid off dividends.
No gold deck on W stop. Sorry, boys.
About 45 minutes left in the day here.
What's your feeling, man? Do you reckon they'll just play the 2 hours?
We might go overtime. It's up to them. They're scheduled for 2 hours. I could see, the results have been pretty bad for Daniel today. If someone wants to play overtime, I think Doug would push the issue right now. Doug's feeling pretty good. I suspect once we hit the time limit, Daniel will probably call it quits. That's just my guess, but juicy turn pot. Daniel bets 3/4 pot on the turn. Doug calls river jack of hearts. Let's see a juicy value bet get paid off here for Daniel. Just the stone nuts.
He's been having quite a lot of bluffs in these situations recently, actually.
Yep. He does. Oh, it's another bluff, though. It's another bluff. Queen high goes for it.
This is a totally fine bluff, though.
That seemed like a solid exact hand to use. Big
It
bluff
would have
from
been
Daniel
funny
gets
had
picked
the
off.
river been a brick. If the river was a brick and Daniel gave up and checked back his queen high, he would have won the pot. That would have been a funnier result.
Doug Polk sniffs it out once again. Advantage Doug, especially on these river spots. I feel like he's come out with the good decision most of the time. Uh-oh. So far, round one here is not competitive. It has been all Doug here. As he takes down another pot on the right with the pocket tens. Round one of the online battle. One-sided, to say the least. Little pep in the step here with a flop check raise. Interesting, small size with this flop check raise. Single raise pot. We go to a turn. Let's see what Doug does on this 8 of hearts. Bets 2/3. Another tasty pot slipping away from Daniel. Check raises flop, check folds the turn. Come on, Daniel, man. Come on, Daniel.
Daniel liking these large sizes on the low wheel boards. Last time they played this spot at it, it was rainbow, and Daniel folded to a check raise.
Here we go again. Similar flop earlier. Oh, again. That's almost an exact same hand as we saw before. 3 small
Very
cards.
similar.
Daniel bets 3/4 pot. Doug check raises. Daniel snap folds. Daniel supporters in the chat, how are you feeling at this moment? I'm telling you, I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
What are your feelings, Kev, about the 12,500 quit? Like, say Daniel stuck a milli, do you reckon he's done, or do you have no opinion on that?
Yeah, so let's set the stage here. It's the entire match is 25,000 hands. Do you know the exact details of the clause? There's just an option. Either one can bow out.
Details.
I don't know the exact details. From what I understand, at 12,500 hands, either can wave the white flag. I think it's too early to really know, but I mean, if Daniel's down $1 million, I mean, Galfond was down a mill ball and he brought it back. Big bet.
Yeah.
Daniel on the river here, 4 clubs. Oh, Polk finds a massive raise on the river. Massive raise, 17K. Wow. Folds. Show the bluff. Okay, another river spot where Doug gets the better of Daniel. We saw the momentum change about 40 minutes ago, and I'm telling you, this has not been a pretty 40 minutes for Daniel here. There's a lot of variance, but it really, really feels like he's getting smoked in some spots.
I haven't seen any wild punts. I think the Queen 5 offsuit with the Queen of Spades 5 of Diamonds might have been a bad river bluff. I'm not sure though. It could have been okay. The Jack 2 flush earlier. They're the only hands that really stood out to me as mistakes. Like this Queen 4 bluff, like that was fine. It's absolutely fine. But you got to remember, Kev, like any like we don't know, like maybe Daniel's overfolding like flops or turns or things like that.
That's what we know.
The things that we can't keep track of are what really add up over the marathon, as you called it, of a heads-up match.
We're flying in the dark, but the sense,
Basically.
the sense is Doug Polk is very strong right now. Have you ever hung out with Doug? Have you ever met him?
No.
I have a couple times. He's a sweetie. He's a sweetie in his heart. He really is.
I don't think I'd like him.
Another sizable river pot here on the right. Ooh, couple big bets from Doug here. Overbet on the left. Strong size on the right. Daniel check calls the overbet on the left. 8 of hearts comes in.
Goes for a bluff catch with
Ooh,
ace
nasty.
7.
Nasty, man. Both those sizable pots go to Mr. Polk. And the beatdown is continuing.
Not a bad looking call. Facing overbet though from Daniel. I'm blocking all draws, blocking ace jack, blocking aces. Probably totally reasonable turn call. And gets a free showdown on the bad river.
So Doug is sitting on 166K on the left, but he did rebuy. Daniel was winning that table for a while, but that seems like a really long time ago. But on the right, I don't think he rebought. I think he's up stone 150 on the right.
Yep, it's adding up. He's pushing ahead here for sure.
The graph is all in his court right now. Okay, turn on the left. Doug goes for pot in position. Daniel wins with 9-8 on the right as well. Non-bluff spot. I would love to know some of these. Ooh, check raise on the left. I would love to know some of these hands that Daniel's showing down here. Because a couple times he's checked back in position on the river and Doug's won with like a third pair or a fourth pair where you're really, wondering what he decided not to bluff with. Small check raise here on the turn. There you go. Takes it down.
But yeah, if you have say you're interested in a hand like that, Kev, you can always ask Daniel after the match.
Yep. There are a few things I wanna ask him for sure. About an hour and a half into play today.
Your boy's in another big one.
There is another big one here indeed. 20K on the turn. Small size.
What do you think of this play, Kev?
The small size?
The
small cute size. Last time he used a small size, he was super nutted with the flush, but this time he checks back and his 7-8 beats him. Oh no.
It feels like he probably value better hand, like ace 3 through 7s, not knowing exactly what he had. With the snap check back, it feels like he probably had some kind of showdown value.
Another big one slips through his fingers, unfortunately. Interesting. King 10-3. Daniel check raises on the left. We saw him check raise a similar board earlier and then check fold on the 8 turn. This time the turn is an ace, which in a single raise pot feels pretty bad for Daniel. We do see the turn check here. This card just seems a lot better for Doug's range. Check, check, River King. Small bet. Daniel could have King Jack, King 9, something here. Very possible he check raises a king on the flop, checks turn, and then bets small on the river. Could be airballing as well with some Jack 9 or something, but he does take that one down. Another 7K pot on the right. Man, this action is furious. It's a bad hour for Daniel Negreanu, but he wins this one with the ace-6 as well. A couple small pots to maybe build on. I mean, look at those stacks, mate, from Doug Polk. He's sitting on some bills right now.
We should ask Daniel what the financial clauses are for if they say he just like quits in the middle of a session, or something along those lines. They don't arrive to play on time or meet those things. What are the repercussions? I'll be curious.
I wonder with a little bit of this attention on this heads up match, I wonder if the heads up tables are going to be filled up for the next couple weeks. Could this spawn on some heads up talent in the future? Everyone's watching these two guys go at it. I kind of want to play some heads up now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean, but most of us just play for money. We don't play for trying to prove that we're cool or something like that.
Which is kind of what this is as well, of course, alongside the money.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, this is more about the ego than it is about the money. At least, from one of their perspectives. You could argue that everything Doug did was a move to try and print money. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not. But I'd say Daniel certainly cares less about the money than Doug, and more about the other stuff.
I would agree with
Another
that.
question for him if we're talking to him after.
Guys, thank you for joining us here today on the GG YouTube channel. 6,000 people watching this heads-up match. If you're a Daniel fan, I mean, you gotta start to be worried here. This is what a lot of people predicted. The line was a heavy favorite for Polk. A lot of sharks thought it should have been a bigger 6, 7, 8-1 favorite. A lot of money went in on Polk from some sharp bettors in the poker community because this is what they predicted, a bit of a stomp fest. And so far, I mean, I want to remain optimistic here as a Daniel fan, but it's been all Doug Polk today.
Yeah, well, like you said about Phil Galfond in his Vidi Vidi challenge, despite how bad it may look, try not to focus too much on the results and try to focus on what you can do to win. And I mean, I'm sure Daniel's going to have plenty of sessions where he'll win more money than Doug's won in this session. Doug's roughly up 5 binds based on the last count I saw in the chat. And, it's really just not that much. Yeah. It's more about the mentality. Like, can Daniel just play normal despite being down? Doug can. Doug can lose and continue playing normally. So if Daniel's going to be at a disadvantage when he's down money, that's going to be really, really hard to come back from.
Small turn sizing, big pot on the left here. The flush does come in. 2 sizable river spots here. Ooh, big bet from Daniel. 12K to 16. Gets called. He has the flush. Big pot for Daniel on the left. Doug wins a 10K pot on the right. Daniel was bluffing the turn small with the king high flush draw. Gets there. Gets a big 12K bet in on the river. And this is the first time in a while we have a stack that is above the reload amount. The reload amount is 40K. He's got 70 now on the left.
Huh. Doug just opened absolutely monstrous.
Yeah, I'm just seeing that now.
A misclick.
What's going on there? He just opens to 1,600. That's a unique one.
He snap opened as well. Oh, Daniel's found. Oh,
dude, what feed are you watching there? Wow, this is fun. 4x 3-bet takes it down. That was a unique one. Not that massive in money terms, but that's kind of a fun deviation from the normal strategy.
I'm going to guess it was a misclick, and I'm not sure how Doug set up to play on WSOP.com.
And this is a different sizing from Polk here in the 3-bet. He goes to 3.7, a little bit smaller than he's gone before. He's been going to 4x.
Nah, Daniel's been the one 3-betting larger, I believe, and I've seen that sizing from Doug at least quite a number of times.
Oh, my bad then. It seemed a unique size as well. I would love if Polk just started opening 4x every hand.
It would be very interesting, yeah.
Okay, 3-bet pot here on the left. Raise 3-bet. Bet went in on the flop. Jack on the turn. 17K. Ooh, pot from Polk. Oh, man, if Daniel finds a continue here, this is a massive hand. He's in the tank. All eyes are on the left side of this table here. Gives it up. The pot size bet gets through. All right, we're entering the last 30 minutes of play today. Can Daniel rally? It has been a rough session for him. Very, very, very rough session here. About 25 minutes left in the day. Doug Polk is not only up on this session, he's up on the entire challenge. He's erased the 115K profit Daniel had before. Overbet from Polk here on the left.
I feel like Daniel should quit at the earliest stage today. Like, if the results were going a bit better for him and he was feeling good about his play and all this kind of stuff, maybe keep going. But if they're not going your way, it's probably worth him, playing the minimum and just stepping away and trying to, review everything that happened.
I agree. Full house gets paid off on the river. Another pot to Polk. It's a sentence we've said quite a few times this hour. Polk finds the running kings there for the boat. Kaki, what do you have to say? What do you have to say to some Daniel supporters that have tuned in? And we've talked about this multiple times. This is a marathon. We're in the infancies. But you gotta say, Doug, there's no really way to sugarcoat it. Doug seems like he's playing much better. Again, it's tough for us to see. We're not seeing showdowns. We're in a mystery in a lot of these spots. But, I mean, advantage Doug in multiple ways, it seems, right now.
Yeah, I mean, to any Daniel fans out there, I'd rather he wins, personally. And I hope you didn't bet on him. That's about it. I'd rather cancel my bet with you, Kevin, if I'm going to talk to Daniel about anything to do with strategy, by the way.
We can discuss after. I don't mind letting it ride.
Nah, it just depends because it kind of affects what I want to say or whatever.
3-bet pot on the left here. Wet board. Okay, Daniel 3-bet the left. Daniel's 3-bet in the right here as well. Smashes a big size on the right.
Yeah, I feel like he's going for these sizings on queen high boards quite a bit, and I haven't studied it to know for sure, but I'm pretty sure they're not used. But maybe it wouldn't be a big difference anyway.
Interesting. So Daniel 3-bets to the left, then he check calls a small size in the flop. 7 on the turn. Feels not good for Daniel's range. Of course, he can have 8s, but it seems like it's less likely than Polk in position. Ooh, this is a fun river. 10 of spades, pairing the board, flush comes in. Does Doug fire here in position on the river? He does. Snapped. Oh, chop it up. It's a fun little hand. Share the money. Pretty standard stuff there. First big chop pot that we've seen today. Another 3-bet pot on the left. Okay. We're seeing a series of single raise pots, but they've spiced it up here a little bit. We're seeing a juicy average pot size here. Okay, massive pot on the left. Daniel raises button. Doug 3-bets. Bet goes in the flop. 3/8. We've seen this turn size from Polk quite a few times in these 3-bet pots. Oh, massive pot. One of our biggest of the day here. 45K in the river.
What do you think is going to happen, Kev?
I think it's a shove. I think it's a shove. I don't know if it's shove call. I think Polk's going all in here. I got the sense. There it is. There's the shove. Daniel snaps with quads. He does not snap. Oh, he calls river 9. Ayah. Oh, no. Oh, no.
And the double sit out.
Oh, no. And the double sit out. Timeout called. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
He may need a new monitor, boys.
Uh-oh, I might need a timeout, man. I'm rattled, man. I'm super rattled right now. He was up 100K yesterday. It's all gone and more, man. It's all gone and more. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Talk to us. The snap sit out. I'm rattled, man. You take over for the next 2 minutes.
I
beatdown.
mean, the hand he peeled with was kind of interesting. Like, he blocked 7, 8, and 8, 9 suited, which are high-frequency 3-bets. So it's like he blocks quads, but, I mean, I don't really know what he's up to. Calling the turn is probably just not good. I assume it went bet, bet, shove. Maybe we could replay that while Dan was
let's
sitting
replay
out.
that
We
one.
could finally get the replay.
Let's get the replay
in. Full time.
Quick look at the current tables. Daniel's gone. Let's go to the heads-up replay here. Let's watch this one. Let's watch this one. Here we go. One of the biggest pots. Oh, he's back in. Let's just watch this replay. He sat back in there. The cards are not in the air. 3-bet pot 3.
Quick, Isaac.
Yeah, let's play through it quick.
Yeah, half pot call.
Bets half pot. Call.
Pot the turn. Call. Okay.
Pot turn. Turn peel with 9-7 for pot.
Yeah, it's a pure punt, basically.
Seems suspect, and he rivers the 9, which turned out to be death. He rivers the full house. Polk with aces the whole way. Again, this is not my forte here. I think the turn call seems suspect at best. And sure enough, the river, he makes a full house and pays off the shove. I think river's obviously pretty standard, but the turn kind of led to his demise there. Uh-oh. Big stackulation there. My goodness. Let's go back to the action. Let's go back to the action. Oh, no. Look at that. Doug Polk, 200K on both tables, ladies and gentlemen.
I have a feeling that Daniel thought he had quads in that hand, and he, unlike us, was not using the 4-color deck. I think that that'll be one of the things we discuss, and my prediction, Kevin, if you want to lay me odds, I would probably take this bet, is that he thought he had quads. Anyway, you ever think about that one?
We'll talk line here in a bit, man. Man, I'm a little rattled, dude. This session has been pretty ugly here, man, for the last hour. We got 20 minutes left on the day. YouTube chat, I see you guys. You guys are going nuts. Doug Polk has returned with authority, is the word I would use here in the online streets. 200K on both tables. Let's see if Daniel can rally. I mean, at this moment, it's got to be a little hard to keep your composure with 15 minutes left to play in the day.
Yeah, it might be hard to keep your composure, but I tell you this, Doug certainly would be keeping his composure. So This could be, if Daniel isn't able to keep his, it's just another advantage for Doug.
9-7 offsuit. Daniel wins a small one there. That was the 9-7 cost him in that big 3-bet pot earlier. Guys, thank you for joining us today. If you guys are enjoying the coverage, subscribe to this channel, please. GGPoker YouTube channel. We're going to be streaming every time they play, basically. It might not be me and Kaki here, but you'll get some sort of commentary covering this action. And boy, what a storyline we have here. I mean, this has been pretty wild. 10 of diamonds on the turn here. 3K pot.
Yeah, Cryptic Plays says, I feel like he most likely would have snap called if he thought he had quads. Yeah, so the other thing that might have happened is he misclick called the turn. There is a chance that he decided to peel the turn, blocking quads and trying to find a bluff for the times that Doug doesn't bet the river, and then he just gets cooler than rivers and 9. It is possible that that's what he was doing. If that's what he was doing, I think it was a giant punt. So I'm sort of, for his sake, hoping that he thought he had quads or that he clicked call instead of fold.
Another river over bet from Doug Polk on the left here on this river 10. Calls. 10-4 is good. 10-4 is good. Polk gets max value there with 5K. Another river spot on the right table here. 1,800 into 2,800. Polk takes that one down as well.
What timer you got, Kevin, for the match? It seemed like you had a pretty good estimate before.
15 minutes left is what I got, what I know.
Okay.
I think we got another 15 minutes of play here today. I believe round 2 of the heads-up action is going down Sunday. If you guys want to come back on this channel, 5:30 p.m. on Sunday, we will see round 2. We have a tentative schedule for when these guys are going to play, but also it's kind of up to them. It is subject to change. All I know is that...
It's a 4-bet pot, by the way, Kev, on the right.
4-bet pot on the right. There we go. D-Negs takes that one down on the flop bet.
Doesn't check back with nothing this time. Good on him.
Finishing that thought. Round 2, Sunday on this channel, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Can Daniel recover from a rough first session?
Yeah, for anyone wanting a running hand count or an exact total in terms of the dollars, we will get Daniel here after he concludes this match, which might be in 15 minutes. So, yeah, we'll have a proper update at that point.
Though, as well. They might go overtime. It's really up to Daniel, I think, at this point.
I have a feeling that they won't.
It's very unlikely.
I think it would be a wise decision not to, as well.
At this point. It's a lesson to other more, poker players out there. If you're getting smacked, there's nothing wrong with waving the white flag and coming back in a different day. The game's going to be there. You often see that at the lower levels. Felipe Ramos. Felipe's enjoying this coverage here of the heads-up high-stakes feud. Two turn queens here. Little baby bet here. One big blind from Daniel on the left. D-Neg's caught bluffing on the right. Jack 5. It's been an interesting day. It's been an interesting day. I mean, a lot of people kind of predicted this. Also, it's tough to say without seeing whole cards. You know, card distribution important. Seems like it has favored Polk a little bit, but it seems like he's playing really well and really comfortable. Oh, 3-bet on the right. And that timing, I was going to say, it seems like a 4-bet. Every time we've gone into the tank like that, the 4-bet has come.
Your favorite type
the
of
The 4-bet pot, man, it gets exciting because you could get the 5-bet, you could get the peel. Folds. 3-bet pot on the left. This is something we've seen pretty consistently, especially in the live format. When Daniel did 3-bet pre, he uses a small size on most boards, especially the ace-high boards.
Yeah, 20%ing on most boards, and just randomly on like queen-high boards, he's like 75%ing.
And he's kind of been big betting on like the 5-4-3 boards as well.
That's in single raise pots. Yeah. I'm not sure how he's playing those 5-4-3s in 3-bet pots. I feel like he's going to be 20%ing, but maybe not. I don't recall seeing
20% is his thing. Ooh, big size from Polk here on the turn. Gets it through. Another 3-bet pot loss for Daniel. And these 200K stacks just continue to grow. Oh, 10-3. Good on the showdown on the right. Oh, no. Doug Polk has officially backed up the truck this session, man. He's backed it up and he's loading it up, man. And how much more can... I don't know if the truck is big enough, dude. Doug Polk, the truck driver, has come in and dominated round one here. I cannot believe this, man. This is a massive winning session.
I'll be very interested to hear how Daniel describes his feelings throughout this match. I think that'll be pretty telling to bettors, you know, like just what kind of shape he's in going into the future. Like if this hurt, like he's in trouble, man. If this is just like, oh, well, I was expecting this to happen pretty often, then, you know, he's in the right state of mind. I think the snap sit out after the aces on the 888 board, it's probably not a good sign.
Wow. Got about 10 minutes left in the day, according to our clock. Do you know, it's something about the synchronization, but we're on the turn on both tables. We have the exact same pot size. Aesthetically, it looks quite pleasing to me. I like these situations.
Yeah, I'll tell you something that's interesting about Heads Up. I used to play it like quite a long time ago. You get into spots where like you 3-bet a guy on the same table twice, or you 4-bet a guy on the same table twice, or it's like a 3-bet pot on both tables and you c-bet both boards, or you stab both boards when they check to you, or you know, you get into these things and you can't help but timing and leveling to come into the game. And I think that that's why Doug had a lot of success, is he's actually quite good at those parts of the game. So yeah, I think in Heads Up, you can't help but have your instincts sort of take over, and you get a kind of feeling for who you're playing against. Like you see a lot of the hands that they're taking to showdown. We as viewers can't see all of them, but if you're playing, you can. You get a feeling like, oh, they usually use this timing when they have a weak hand, or maybe you can't help but have a read into the timing that affects your decision making. And if your opponent's very clever at using that as a trick, then you know you might level yourself in the wrong way. So it's an interesting part of the game.
Three bet from Daniel. Could our favorite event happen here? See, in the 3-bet pots, if Polk is a flatting hand, he just snap does it. And it's when he goes to that latter part of the time bank, you can anticipate the 4-bet. There we go with the 20% size. Very consistent from Daniel here on the right. Polk's going to have, just a plethora of continues versus the small sizing. We've seen this a lot. A lot of 20% flop betting from Daniel and a lot of checking on turns. Ooh.
Interesting spot on the left too.
Big check raise from Doug Polk on the left versus a big size as well.
Yeah, double check back from D-Negs as the pre-flop raiser, and now getting check raised for like full pot.
Daniel checks on the right. He checks turn and river. Two big spots here. Oh, 3-bet on the river from Daniel and gets it through.
I'm going to just go ahead and say for
was...
Jectus, that was never a bluff.
Oh, and a full
NVR
house.
Bluff.
Full house on the right. Wow, two big pots there. Okay, both of those were really interesting. I'm going to ask him about the 3-bet on the river, man. If he pulled the trigger there, that was pretty strong stuff. But full house on the right for Daniel. Sorry, for Doug on the right. Looks like we're drawing to a close here. Still a little bit of action to go. If you guys are just joining us, welcome. My name is Kevin Martin, and this is my fellow GG Squad member, a brother of the mustache, KakiTee. We've been covering this for the last 2 hours here. It's been all Doug Polk. He's gotten the pre-flop pots to go his way. He's stacked Daniel multiple times on both tables. Still a little bit of play on day one here. Big bets on the river from Doug and both tables. Called on the right. No good. King 9 is good. D-Negs calls and loses. What about on the left? Versus the overbet. Okay, another 2 big pots for Doug Polk. Gets paid off in the one spot. I mean, we'd love to see these hands. There's no hole cards coverage for anybody. That would be a dream if we had the hole cards. It's just not going to happen. Yeah. Just not going to happen. We can work
the
miracles,
problem with it is like the analysis of what the other player's doing over a large sample would come into play later in the match too much. And from Daniel's perspective, I think it would be way too risky.
Three-bet pot on the right. Doug goes with this super small sizing on King, King, Ace. Oh, Doug raises on the left as well. Okay, 2 massive 5-figure pots. Big turn bet on the right. On the right, Doug 3-bet pre. Bet the flop small. Big bets the turn.
What do you think's going to happen here, Kev?
Wow, I think Daniel has a king, man. On the right, I think he has like king, jack, king, queen. That's just the sense I'm getting here. Oh, never mind. The river's a king. That is no longer that plausible. Interesting river.
Wow. The
check,
duck
check.
Truck.
Interesting. That ace jack hand is really interesting. Maybe we can pull that one up for a replay. Dude, Polk had the deuce 3 there, man. Let's quickly go to replay. Doug Polk feeling it, man. Finds the 3-bet with 3 deuce here. Isaac, just make sure you put the tables over each other, Isaac. But we're not gonna go through the whole hand. Just very interesting to note that Doug pulled the 3-bet with the 3 deuce suited here. We're not gonna go through the whole thing. We just had to make note for that.
A lot of questions as to why checking back here with an ace. I actually think that there's merit in it. Like his opponent should basically shove every time, and occasionally like set a trap with a checked ace as well. But the chance of his opponent having a check call with a weaker hand, his opponent would need to call him with queen high, basically, to go bet with a queen high hand and then check call the river, putting Daniel on having some sort of gut shot bluff. So while there may be a small amount of value, there's potentially more value in the information of checking back, seeing what your opponent was two barreling with. And Doug not barreling the river with the 3-2s is basically an exploit where he just thinks that Daniel's turn calling range is just always value. So he's willing to check the absolute nut low. And he's assuming Daniel would fold a gut shot on the turn, even though he could have queen high showdown value. But yeah, if you were going to bluff a hand on the river, like that was the hand, you know. Like that hand's probably an automatic turn bet. It's probably an automatic river bluff. So Doug knowing that and giving it up is basically an insult. He's saying D-Negs is too tight. D-Negs has value way too often after calling flop and turn. I'm going to just give away the pot. That's my interpretation anyway.
It's not just the mustache the man has. He has a little bit of poker knowledge as well. KakiTee bringing it today. Dude, this has been fun. We're on the tail end of the session here. We're coming up on 2 hours. They could quit any time. I don't know what they're planning to do here. But I believe we have reached the 2-hour limit. I hope they keep going for it. It would be nice to see some more coverage here. Oh, they have, they're chatting. D-Negs is chatting about something. We don't have access to the chat. They're chatting back and forth.
It's probably a friendly GG if you watch the live at all. It's probably, oh man, GG, you got me. He's like, yeah, nice try. Good game, well played.
Probably friendly.
That's probably what they're saying. Yeah.
We can play a little Mad Libs and think about what they're... I'm very excited, you guys. If they call it here, we got Daniel Negreanu on the post-game interview coming up. So do not take off. I'm very, very curious to talk to him and hear about his thought process. There it is. There it is. There's the GG for now, and that wraps up session number 1. We're going to get Daniel on the Skype call. Good game. 2 hours has come to a close, you guys. GG. And boy, a big number for Doug Polk. Look at those two stacks. 200K plus. Kaki, round number 1 of the heads-up match is done. Yeah, but I'll let you out of the bet, man. No. I'm not worried about my own bet right now. I'm interested to talk to Daniel. We'll get him on Skype here in a second. YouTube, do you have any comments for Daniel? Any comments? He got smoked. He got smoked today, unfortunately. Doug Polk with a massive win. So coming into today, Doug Polk was down about 100 grand. Today, he made up that profit and got even more. He could be up like 140 right now is what I'm kind of guessing. Maybe not that much, maybe 110 or something like that. We'll get the exact numbers soon. But wow, a tough day for Daniel Negreanu. Let's see if we can get him here on the Skype chat.
Yeah, if you guys do have a question, like I'll have a read. If there's something interesting in there, I'll ask him. So feel free to put something in the chat.
I mean, the hands of the day, the 2 big pre-flop spots at the start got it going early. It was a 5-bet pot. Daniel got in pocket 10s to Doug's pocket queens, could not hit. So that was an early stack. Then we had ace queen for Daniel versus queens, which was a stack off pre as well. But the big post-flop hand of the day was the 9-7 in the 3-bet pot. That one was
certainly the hand of the day. Yeah,
certainly the hand of the day. They continue on the turn with the overcard gut shot for the pot size. We got some replays here that we can look at for the time being while we're getting Daniel on the show. Guys, if you're taking off now, that is a mistake. We got Daniel coming up. We're going to ask him some questions. If you are, though, you're making a mistake. You should stick around. Round number 2. Round number 2 is going to be on this channel on Sunday. Every time they play, we are planning to have coverage here. So subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thumbs up is appreciated. And yeah, really good coverage today. Let's take a look at a couple of these hands. Let's run this one through. This is an interesting 3-bet pot here, or we can go somewhere else as well. No word from Daniel yet, but I think we'll get him on the show. We got some big hands saved here that Isaac is going to run through. Kaki, man, what a day one. What a day one. The prophecy that a lot of people predicted did come true. It's going to be really interesting. Can Daniel take a day off, do some work, rebound? We're about to see here. But let's take a look at this pot. Oh, my goodness, man. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. It is done for now. We have a raise and a call. King high board here. Check, check. Ace on the turn. Check, check again.
I think I missed the river action in this hand, actually.
This is a big river action. You're going to see it coming up here.
Ah, that was the 3-bet, never a bluff. Shout out to Jactus line. Yeah. Bet, check, raise, 3-bet. We got to ask him about that hand. Do you think he had? I mean, it's kind of weird. I think he had whatever the stone nizzles was. So I'm going to put him on 7-8 or somehow Joe Hashem 7-3.
Man, really? You think he had 7-8 there? I think 7-8 would find some turn action, but we'll ask him about that one.
I just don't think he's going to find a river 3-bet here.
Is this hand, is this disrespect? I'm not a heads-up wizard, but the 3-deuce 3-bet, is that working itself into the 3-bet range? Check this out here. This seems a little disrespectful.
I can have a look.
Button
Shout out
raise,
to
large
DTO
3-bet.
Dom, man. He gave me some free heads-up charts as he was trying to like take some cash off me. I took the charts and I didn't give the cash, so we had a chopski on that one. But the duck truck suited, yeah, it looks like about a quarter of the time 3-bet, something like that.
There you go.
The old duck truck.
Check, check, river, give up. Daniel checks back the ace. The original check back here with ace-jack seemed a little strange to me, but you said there's merit to it. Tough to get called by worse. Yeah,
well, I mean, you know, like, there's just some info you get. You're like, what is this dude 2-barreling me with in a spot like this? You know, where the board's very, very dry. What hand, like, for one thing, like, what could check call me that I'm not chopping with? Like, villain could check some amount of quads. Villain could check an ace to induce a bluff, like from a floated gut shot. So do I think that this guy is going to 2-barrel a hand like a 4 and find a river call? Or 2-barrel a hand like a pocket pair and find a river call? Well, probably not. And therefore, what's the value in me betting with a hand like this? And if I am going to bet an ace, maybe I don't want to have a jack in my hand, because maybe queen jack is one of the few hands I could get value out of when I do bet. So maybe he's betting a different ace. In any event, I think he checked just for the information, and he got it. The information that he got is that Doug is willing to give up hands that he shouldn't give up, because Doug obviously assumes that Daniel is like calling the turn too tight, basically.
And there you have
Doug could be wrong with that assumption, though. As we saw on the other hand, Daniel did double peel him with 7-9 high on a trips board. So Doug might have been wrong with that assumption. We don't really know. We can ask Daniel when he comes on. That's the
yeah, I think we'll get him right away here. I'm just double checking on the side here. Let's see if we got Daniel Negreanu ready to go. Kaki, what a day 1A, you guys. Day 2 is going down Sunday on this channel. Let's see here. Is Daniel? I haven't gotten word from Daniel here.
I think he needs to come Discord.
Any Daniel sighting? Any Daniel sighting? I got him on Skype here. He has not replied here, so we're waiting on Mr. Negreanu here. Man, chat, what do you think, dude? What do you think? That was one-sided from Mr. Polk. He's got to be feeling pretty good about it coming out of the gate. What is Kaki? I mean, you're the heads-up cash game guy. What does he need to do? What is Daniel? What if you're Daniel Negreanu? What is your schedule tomorrow? What are you doing to get back on track?
I've gone invisible, apparently. I don't know if that means you left the Discord.
I got you back. That was me. I got you back.
Okay. Sorry, what was the question?
If you're Daniel Negreanu, you just got whacked here for quite a huge amount. Mentally, has got to feel bad. What are you doing tomorrow afternoon to come back Sunday and have a better showing?
Yeah, I mean, I would just review the hands. I mean, I don't know why he did the 7-9 thing. Maybe he'll just have a reason, like, oh, I accidentally called when I was trying to fold, or whatever. But I would review all the hands that were close, and I would make sure that the next time I'm in a spot similar to that, I'm better prepared. In terms of the results, not a big deal. I think if he's worried about this level of result, it's a really, really bad sign. He went into this match knowing that he could easily lose something like $5 million. So I think him like losing 5 buy-ins or whatever it might turn out to be in this online session, maybe 6 buy-ins. Somebody's putting it at 300k for this session, which will put him down 200 total. If that's true, I mean, still, it's not even 10 buy-ins in a session. It should be fine. Yeah, I'll be curious to hear how he actually sounds. I don't know him, so I think it'll sting, but I don't think he's unprepared for it.
We're standing by waiting to hear if we get word from Daniel Negreanu. No message from him yet. I would love to pick his brain about what went down today. But again, you guys, round number 2 is going this Sunday. Every time this challenge is on, we plan to have the coverage here on the GG YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us today. We're just awaiting action here from Daniel Negreanu. Did he peace out? Does he not want to talk? He had a bad session, doesn't want to talk. I think he's going to talk to us. We're going to stand by and wait for that. But Kaki, man, this was a lot of fun. And congratulations to Doug Polk for rebounding in a strong way. My goodness.
I'll be right back, sir.
No problem. We're waiting on Daniel. It would be really nice to have hole cards. We could put right now we're kind of guessing, trying to figure out ranges and stuff. If we had the hole card information, but guess what? No one on the internet has the hole card information, and that makes a lot of sense. This is for a lot of money. It's 200, 400, specifically for Daniel. I mean, Doug's whole thing with his heads up career, I believe, is like database analysis, analyzing information, and just like using it to destroy his opponents. And so it makes sense that Daniel would not want to go with the whole card information. No word from D-Negs here. Let's see. Did we get him? We're getting word he should come on. Maybe he's just taking a minute. Taking a mad minute. So yeah, it looks like estimates are Daniel was down 300k in the online session. So for the total, that's about, what is that? So he's down 180. He's down 180 about in total for the challenge. Big swing compared to what we saw on the live felt. Man, some wild river action for sure. Doug Polk used the overbet in multiple spots. Man, I'm exhausted, dude. What an event, man. That was crazy. We're standing by for Daniel Negreanu here. We're getting word, but
yep.
Yeah, we can get him on Skype. I have him on Skype. He just hasn't answered. Round 2 going Sunday. Man, Kaki, you got to feel good. For those of you who backed Doug Polk, you got to feel pretty good about what happened here in round 1 of the online matchup. Kaki, are you streaming tonight? You're going to fire some heads up action?
Some Among Us 6 max, maybe.
Dude, you've been putting so much time in Among Us. Is that distracting from your young poker skill? Are you a little bit disorganized right now?
Yeah, sure. I'm disorganized because I'm moving country pretty soon anyway. So whatever I do now, it's not, I don't have a good routine about it, basically.
Dude, I played the 2 games of Among Us with you, and I was like, I got to sit out of the lobby. It was too sweaty, too setty. Yeah, everyone chilling. Yeah, we all want to hear from Daniel.
Solid group.
We're in the same boat as you guys. We're chilling. If you guys don't follow my dude KakiTee is a member of the GG squad, and you're brand new to streaming, dude. You came on the scene even less than a year ago. You started making content, right?
About a year, slightly over a year actually.
You got an awesome stream. If you guys don't follow me, I'm on Twitch all the time, streaming some MTTs there. That's my thing. We got some interesting hands to hear from Daniel. We're standing by to see if we can get him. There might, we should be able to get him here. We'll see. We'll see if we can. A big L, 300k down on the session. That again is just an approximation. So yeah, it looks like they're going to be playing 2 hours a day, and they're going to be taking off a day in between. So today's Friday. They're taking Saturday off, and I think they're back on Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. The Upswing Nation got to be having a bit of a celebration tonight, you feel like. You ever won 300k in a day, Kaki?
In a year. Not quite the same as a day, man.
Yeah, I've had One of my best years was around that 300K mark as well, but never in a day, man. Never in a day. Damn. So Doug Polk heads up Rain, man. When were his prime years? Like, you've been in the poker scene a little bit longer than I have.
I quit for like 6 years, man. Basically,
but he was
I think his prime was like 2013 through 2017. I don't know whereabouts exactly in that.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's reshove the 7-9 hand. A lot of people want to see.
Asking about it.
Let's do it. Isaac, can we get the 7-9 hand? That would be great if we can show that again. That was the hand of the day, of course.
I'm curious, Kev, what your thoughts are on why he called the turn.
You know, he's got the gut shot. He's got the in position, and I felt like, you know, maybe he was losing. He felt like he was getting run over a little bit. When that happens, like, maybe you can lean towards going a little bit wider. But yeah, it seemed like it was pretty wide. Oh, we do not have the 7-9 hand. It was too long ago. Too long ago. Oh, we got him here. Oh my God, I think we got him. I think we got him, you guys. He has a different Skype account is apparently it. Different Skype account. Oh, let's get him.
Okay, the only issue with this is I won't be able to hear anything. But you could add me to the Skype call, and then I'll just mute my mic there.
Oh, let's bring him on board. We got him, guys. Daniel Negreanu is here in the flesh. Let's call him up. Let's call him up. Let's get him on Skype here.
For anyone wondering about the 7-9 hand, so Daniel opened 7-9 of clubs on the button. Doug three bets
Mr. Daniel.
Size. I'll tell you later.
Mr. Daniel, give me 1 second here and we'll get you up.
Good.
One second. Almost.
Can't hear you. What the hell?
Oh, you can't hear me?
I can't see you either.
Here we go. We got Mr. Daniel Negreanu on the line.
Literally in the flesh. Yes. Shout out to JC in the chat.
Look at this production value here. This is how we do it here. Boom. All right. 1 second. We got to get the right mic on. Skype, man. Skype really fell apart. They could have had domination for a long time. Microphone is going to be the main. Yo, Mr. Daniel. Mr. Daniel, do you hear me? Here, Kaki, I'm going to drop the Discord call just so we can maybe talk to Mr. Daniel here. Hey, Daniel. No, Daniel, you don't hear me. No, Mr. Negreanu. It might be on Daniel's side here. Let me send him a message here. Production is hard, boys and girls. It's really challenging. He says, "What is up?" All right. Hello. Might be on your settings / speakers. Let's try again here, you guys. Hello?
All right, check.
Check. We can hear you.
Can you hear me? I don't know. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Hold on.
Mr. Daniel, I think it's on your side. I think it's your microphone. Someone has to
Hello?
tell. Hello.
Hello.
No, he's so close, but he's so far.
Check. 1 2. Check. 1 2. Check. 1 2.
Hello. Yeah, I think it's on your side, Daniel. Anyone from GG team, if you can tell him to check his settings, check his gear. Look at this beautiful face, though. How do you not love this man? How do you not love this man?
I don't know what to tell you guys.
We can hear him. He just can't. He just can't hear us. We do have him here, though.
I don't see anything. I don't hear anything. This fucking Skype is a piece of shit in its ass. Can you hear that? What's going on with this piece of shit fucking Skype? I'll break it. Why isn't it working?
Go sit.
It's like I'm sitting here like this. They can't hear me. They can't see me. I tested the phone. Oh, they hear me now?
We can hear you.
Oh, I can't hear him. I don't know.
You can't hear me.
Okay, they see me and hear me, but I can't hear or see him. Why, honey? Well, why? What's going on, Christian?
I'm outside.
Okay, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Like, I can't hear them. I can't see them. I can't. I got nothing. I don't know.
Have they shared their video?
There's no, look, this is what I see on the screen. Just Kevin Martin, but I don't see.
You're on.
Oh, I'm on. Okay, so I better be good. I don't know what's going on. I can't hear them at all. This fucking
Yeah, I'm
Skype.
trying to talk to you, Daniel. I'm trying to talk to you, brother. I'm trying to
I don't know
talk to you,
what's
man.
happening. I can't. I see an avatar of
Go.
him. Huh?
They,
I mean-
they might not be sharing their audio and video.
Why aren't they sharing their audio and video? It's their fault. It's fucking Kev Martin's fault then.
It might be, bro. It might be, bro. It's been a day, man.
They said they're
No,
hearing me. But they hear
it-
me and they see me, but I can't see nothing. I don't hear nothing.
Can you hear the stream?
I hear them when they're talking on the stream.
No, you don't. You don't hear.
I don't hear anything on the damn computer that I'm going to smash in a minute.
Can you
No,
understand
don't smash it, Daniel. Don't smash it here.
what they're saying?
Okay, turn it up there for a second, babe.
All right.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
All right, guys, if you can hear me, say 5.
We can hear you, bro. Let's just. Hey,
that
I
was-
just. Daniel.
It's on delay. It's on delay, this fucking piece of shit. I'm so annoyed. I hate computer shit.
So
So what am I supposed to do now?
We've seen. Daniel, just, I mean, we're going to be on a delay, but go ahead and talk to us. Everyone, just to, first
right.
of all,
Why is
everyone
there-
has stayed here to hear from you.
Skype. Who
People
uses
love
Skype
you.
in 2020?
Zoom?
Jesus. Kev Martin.
By the way, this is the highlight of my career. It might be. Daniel, tell us about the match. How are you feeling? Tell us,
Thanks.
just tell us a
Okay. All right, I'll
general
see.
point of view. How
Send
did
a
it go
Zoom
down?
link. How about that, boys? Zoom. I don't know. Skype shit. What can I tell you? All right. See ya.
All right. Sorry.
I can't. I
It doesn't
can't.
work. I tell you.
I'm signed into mine, but I don't know what password. So I'm supposed to-
He has to. Oh man, he has to go to his settings. He has to go to his settings. He has to go to here. Skype does suck, Daniel. You're not wrong, brother. You're not wrong. It is the worst platform in the history of platforms.
What's his Skype number? Or what's his name?
Who?
This guy.
I'll ask you questions through here.
What's his? What's? How do I find him?
I don't know. Hold on. There's something going on here now. I think I'm on again. What is happening with this crap? Yep.
Show me the Skype screen.
He just sent me a Zoom link because Zoom is better, I think.
Okay. Yeah, if you have Zoom, do that. But
All right.
if that doesn't work, I can walk you through how to get that.
All right. I'm just going to do that.
All right, let's do that. Okay, well, that was fun. That was special. Let's go to Zoom. Let's go to Zoom. Let's meet him there, you guys. This will be worth it, man. He's spiced up. Oh my lordy. That was special. That was really, really pretty fun. He's not wrong, though, you guys. I mean, Skype is the worst platform in the history of platforms. Definitely not wrong. Let me grab this Skype link, you guys. Wow, what a day, man. Well, we had some fun here today. My goodness, have we ever. We cannot go against that. We're going to get him on the Skype link. Let's see if we got him here. That was hilarious, though. Daniel, everybody wants to talk to you. Here we go. All right. Okay, let's see. We do got the Zoom link. Skype plan A failed. We go off to plan B. Here we go. Got it. Launch meeting. Well, I mean, what bonus coverage, dude? We got a little here we go. The man, the myth, the legend. Fellas.
Interesting topic.
The what?
Like the reclining chair, I think, is an interesting topic.
Right here, yeah.
It says Kevin's here, but he's not here. Can you hear
There
Kevin?
he is. I see him.
We got him.
All right.
Yep.
We just got to talk to him.
All right, cool.
Hello.
What's up?
Oh, my God. It happened. Daniel, for what it's worth, that was actually hilarious.
Yeah, I figured you'd like that.
That was worth it. Guys, we got him. Daniel Negreanu's on the show. Everyone, by the way, we had 6,000 viewers. Almost everybody stayed because they wanted to talk to you. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I mean, I know. Obviously, we got the first online session in the books. Flipped the script in terms of where we were at. I actually thought I did a lot worse because you can't tell with auto top up. And I looked at his stacks and I looked at mine. I'm like, oh shit! I thought I lost like 10 buy-ins, but it was actually not so bad. I mean, we got flipped from me being up about 100 to him up 100.
Yeah, it was. To tell you what, it was a great show. We were on the edge of our seats. I was happy to see you crush the first session, and we just wanted to ask you. Second round is going this Sunday, right?
Well, we just changed it, so just I'll update you guys because he has a football Sunday with his fiance or wife. I don't know. I don't want to give her ideas or him ideas. But I think we're gonna go Monday, so we're gonna skip the weekend.
Gotcha.
And the next match will be Monday 2:30, same time.
We'll take it. That is awesome, man. It was a really good show. We're looking forward to it. We did want to talk about one hand specifically, the 9-7 hand.
Which one?
There was a couple 9-7 hands that you had today. The big one, though, where he ended up he had aces and the board was 8-8-8.
Oh, you saw my hand?
You peeled turn.
How did you guys see my hand?
Sometimes, I don't know why, sometimes it shows both showdown, sometimes it doesn't.
Man, I didn't want nobody seeing that crap. I was going to pretend I had kings.
We did.
Anyway.
Oh, dear.
We did.
I put you on misclicking the turn, personally, so you had me fooled.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just wanted to ask about the turn peel in position here versus the big size. What were your thoughts on that?
Well, I obviously had shenanigans in mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I wasn't calling with 9 high to be like, cool, I have 9 high. Let's just, see if that's good. I had some shenanigans. Like if you remember the board.
Yeah, you
specifically
had 7-9 of clubs blocking 7-8 and 8-9 suited.
Yeah, and I had 7-9 of clubs and there was 3 8s on board and there was 1 8 missing. And it was the 8 of clubs. And I thought, why not? Let's give this one a shot.
It's an interesting peel, yeah. Obviously, you can't fold river.
Well, no, yeah. Once I hit the river, I basically now have pretty close to top of my range in that spot. But I was thinking about maybe whether or not I could bluff this one on the river if he checked and gave up.
Yeah, it would have been a very nice hand to bluff if you'd seen a check.
Let's say, yeah. I don't know. It was like I'm sure my team's going to be like, what the hell was that hand? But other than that, like that's the only hand that I really look at and go, okay, that one was super ambitious. But other than that, I thought I played some really good ones. I thought there were 3 key pots, 3 or 4. I had 9s, flopped a set, he flopped a straight. Another one I had 10s, he had queens. Another one I had queens. I got in with ace queen, a little on the lighter side. but those are, I think, mostly pretty standard. I mean, correct me
Can
if I'm
I ask
wrong.
you a question about that 9 set against the straight?
Sure. Yeah.
So it's an 8, 9, 10 of hearts flop. Obviously, one you know that you shouldn't bet particularly often with your range in general. How do you make the decision to bet pocket nines in that exact instance? Like, what is part of your process? Like, I, for example, use a random number generator to determine if I bet or not. What do you do?
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. You know, that's like, I think most people would use. I have one up right here, and I use it for a lot of situations. That one, that one was like just in the flow of the match. It felt
You just
like,
wanted to stack him.
well, not just, there wasn't just simply like, oh, I have 3 of a kind, let's bet.
Yeah.
I thought, based on how I'd been playing, I don't know how to explain this without giving away too much, because I want to be careful.
He felt like you'd been c-betting a lot, so when you had it, it's kind of punty not to c-bet. That
Right.
kind of a thought,
Yeah, that
or-
makes sense. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So in those spots, I was c-betting a lot for small or big. And while you're right, I think that board is a board I could check a lot of the time. I thought with my hand strength, I was gonna lead. But it's probably better to check, like you said, because there are so many bad cards that can come on the turn. Obviously.
No, well, I think you're gonna bet sometimes.
Yeah,
I
sure.
think you'd never bet.
Yeah. So
it was
I
an
bet.
interesting hand.
And then when he calls, the turn's a king. I thought that was a really, really good card for me, because there's some king jack, king queen type of hands that he could have that peel with a heart. So I was like, okay, well now he has a group of hands I can target. So he calls, and then the river's a complete brick, and I have like what about a pot size bet, or maybe even less. So at that point, I mean, with 3 nines, I'm slam dunk, high five, and going, let's get it in and hope I get called. And I did, and he showed me the bad news. So, but yeah, that hand was one of them. The 10s versus the queens, then the queens.
Yeah, just wanted to ask you about, there was 2 all-in pre-flop pots. Unfortunately, both went against you. The 10s versus queens, and then the ace queen versus queens. He just ran into the top of his range there. The 10s seems unlucky. I wanted to ask you about the rip there with ace queen. You just thought he was 4-betting light, perhaps, or?
Yeah, that was a little thin for sure. I mean, listen, I think when you are in those spots, you have to be somewhat balanced. And I think ace queen is a hand that you should be ripping there sometimes, obviously, which is why I did. And
he also sized kind of bigger, which maybe
Right.
made it more tempting for you to rip instead of flat. I don't know if that was part
yeah,
of the thought.
no,
but
that's certainly a consideration. The size doesn't lend itself to peelability as much as you would like necessarily. So yeah, I would say that was definitely on the lighter side with that rip with the ace queen, but I don't think it's a theoretical mistake unless you do it 100% of the time.
And
what do you oh, sorry, you go, man.
I just also wanted to ask about a common strategy we saw from Polk on the river was the overbet. It seemed like over and over again on these rivers he found this overbet, and it's kind of, I mean, I'm a tournament player. This is more of a cash game thing, and it's really kind of tough to play against. What's your general thought with all those river overbets you faced?
Yeah, like you can look at overbets one way or the other, right? You can look at overbets as being very, very tough to play against, and you can also look at them as like they're kind of easy to play against, right? Like, extreme example, if there's $10 in the pot and somebody bets $1 million, you're like, oh, cool, okay, well, do I have the nuts? Call. If I don't. So you could actually look at it both ways. Obviously, I think it is, like you said, more difficult to play against that sort of sizing. It's what I expected. I, in my work, didn't spend enough, or maybe I didn't have enough time to really delve into my own overbet strategy too much. I do plan to use it occasionally here and there in some spots going forward as I improve. But, for now, I was, for the most part, sticking to 2 sizes. I think I did stick to 2 sizes, either 20% or 75% post flop, with check raise sizings varying. But yeah, no, they're definitely tougher to play against. And that's where a lot of like the study that I did. I mean, I did that with the mindset of thinking, okay, well, he's going to put me in a lot of overbet spots, so I need to make sure that I'm playing against them correctly.
Nice, man. It was an intense battle. We were on the edge of our seat. The poker world's watching. Any plans this weekend to rally and get ready for the next? Like, what does your weekend look like? You're feeling good still?
Well, it's funny you say that, because actually I totally forgot about this, and then I have a call scheduled with my guys, and we're going to watch the hands over. And now I'm going to get the tongue lashing probably about like all the things I did bad. But no, I think they're going to be very, very happy about some of the decisions I made. Not all of them, of course, because listen, I'm playing against a really great player. It's going to be tough, and he's going to put you in bad spots. But overall, I felt like I did pretty well. And listen, one one of the things I've learned with my guys is like, when a spot's a spot where like when you have tens against queens, it's like whatever, you don't worry about that. Like it's just a thing, right? I mean, obviously I've known about this in poker for a long time, but those things tend to even themselves out. So the question is, was your decision plus EV or negative EV? Because it's a long-term game, not like a tournament, Kevin, where, you're thinking about lowering your chance of ruin or stuff like that. Here, it's just, was it plus EV or was it minus EV? And when there's a spot where you look at it and you're like, all right, tens is a plus EV shove. I did it. He had queens. Cool.
Yeah.
There's no real pain associated with it. Obviously, I'd like to win. Oh, there was one other hand I got stacked on too. And this one maybe was a mistake, but I'm not sure. I don't think it was. I 3-bet him with Jack 9 of hearts. He came deuce 4-6.
Yep.
2 hearts.
You check jam the turn, yeah.
That was just at the start of the coverage.
I think it's just an automatic barrel. The check is I don't think it's really a thing with Jack 9. Like it's kind of not good enough to check jam. It's not a good hand to check call with really, but it barrels really well. Like you block the 10.
Yeah, no, you're right, and you're right. And I did think about barreling, and then once I checked, I'm like, oh shit. Well, I put myself in a bad spot where like, well, my hand's too good to fold for third pot.
Yeah.
But is it enough to just call and hope I hit it, or do I have an opportunity here to apply pressure because of the fact that I do block the 10, like you said?
Yeah.
But in
I don't
hindsight,
think it could be too bad. It could never be too bad.
Right, it can never be too bad. But in that case, I think you're right. Probably that I would have been better off barreling. But the other problem with the barrel too is, if I was going to bet 75% pot on turn, like I kind of, well, now I'm
have to fold to a jam sometimes, yeah.
But I think I only had like 50 or 60. Maybe I was wrong on the sizing. I think my turn bet would have had to been like 38 or something, and then I would only have like 50 or 60 behind. So it kind of would have been like getting it all in with after calling the raise, where I don't know. Yeah, tough spot. I'm sure I'll go over it with my guys and figure out what I did wrong.
I have to ask you one question though, Daniel, before we let you go, man. What up with the live thing, dude? You guys are way too friendly, man.
Listen,
I wanted to see some animosity.
I know. I was ready.
Online, and then it comes to live, and your friends, you're talking about COVID, and everyone's having a good time.
Listen, I was going to go with whatever, the flow was. Listen, we've had a long history, right? Where he has, he'll admittedly, attacked me probably unfairly. I think that's fair to say. And I think, if you ask him, he would say the same. But like, I don't know, bygones be bygones. I don't, I'm not going over to his house on Sunday to watch football. But I felt like, on the biggest stage for poker, well, that's with what's going on right now. Like, what do people want to tune in and see? 2 children petulantly.
That's exactly what they want to see, bro.
I did have some gags that I didn't pull through on. I was going to on the live, and I told him this, I was going to have some charts in my pocket. And
that's amazing.
If I stacked them, I was going to throw them to him and be like, here, maybe these will help. But I didn't have enough time to make the charts and stuff. But I don't know. Who knows? Maybe there will be bad blood if he beats me for more than this, and I'd freak out on if I have any Skype issues again, and you guys.
Yeah, that was the tilting thing. Daniel, thank you for joining us. Congrats on crushing the live. Tough session today, but I wasn't biased on the commentary. I think a lot of people are rooting for you. I have a financial bet on you, so enjoy your weekend. And I think you got a little bit of a spin coming. So we wish you best of luck. And thank you for joining us through the technical difficulties. It means a lot.
Yeah, listen, it's a long roll ahead, right? Long road ahead, right? There's going to be a lot of hands, aces against kings and stuff like that. We're only 600 hands in, and he's up 2.5 buy-ins after a good session today. But I don't feel bad about it right now. I'm going to work hard to continue to improve.
Nice. Have a good session with your guys, and crush it on Monday, which is round 2. So thank you for joining us, Daniel. You're a legend, buddy. Good luck. Daniel Negreanu joining us for the after party, man. How cool was that? All right. GG to Daniel. GG. KakiTee, thank you for joining me on the commentary. Wow, well, that's it, man. Daniel seemed to be in really good spirits. He seemed to be chill. He seemed to be like, oh, it just happens or whatever. It's a really rough session for him, but it was fun to talk through the hands, and hopefully he can rebound. He's going to be doing some work with his guys. Congrats to Doug Polk on crushing today. Swung it around. If you're a Doug Polk fan, you got to like what you see today. Thank you guys for joining me. It was wild. We made it happen. It was kind of fun. And again, the post-game interview with Daniel is pretty special. So a big thank you to everybody involved. My name is Kevin Martin. Thank you for watching. If you guys want to watch round 2, just sub to this channel. This is the GG YouTube channel. Every time they play, we're planning to have coverage on this channel. It looks like Sunday was the plan, but it looks like they changed that, and they're going to go for Monday. GG to Kaki, my commentator. That was a lot of fun. And wow, it's 2 hours, man. Doug Polk did back up the truck today. He crushed it. It'll be an interesting story to follow, you guys. Thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. Again, sub to the channel, and we'll see you next time. But that is it for us here. And GG. Doug Polk with the big day, man. Boy, did he crush it today. All right, sub to the channel. We'll be back next time. Peace.